What you sent me this morning is that's downright unbelievable. This would probably make a lot of people pile on silver. It's going to be more interesting from here. I think the metals are going to go back to the same track they were on, but there's still a lot of interference.
You're thinking maybe $800 to $900 for a tube of silver eagles would be reasonable?
New to buying gold or silver? SD Bullion makes it simple, with no order minimums, clear pricing, and discreet shipping. Trusted by hundreds of thousands, SDBullion.com, where America buys physical gold and silver.
Hey Tim.
Hi there.
How you doing? You ready to put me to work?
Oh yeah.
Well, it's Wednesday. We're in the shop.
It is Wednesday, yes.
It's closed, right? We close on Wednesdays.
It is closed, yeah.
What have you been asking me to do?
Just about everything. Mostly sorting, but we're getting a lot organized.
Yes.
And I mean, every few minutes you discover something that I've been looking for and I didn't know where it was.
I do. I've organized the rounds and the coins and the maples and the eagles and the Brits. And one of the things you have me doing over here, again, we're closed on Wednesday. It's very important that you know that, is eagles, right?
Yes.
Eagles. You want eagles sorted by dates.
Yep.
Yep. So I don't know how far I'm going to get with the sorting, but the discovery phase is in progress. A couple things I wanted to do is first ask you how you're feeling.
Better.
Yeah.
But not completely healed yet, apparently. They keep discovering more broken bones or something.
Well, let me do the heavy lifting.
That's fine. I'm not going to object to that.
Second thing is you've got a lot of love showing. Look at the cards here. A lot of get well cards, a lot of happy birthday cards when you turned 80.
Yep.
You shared one of these with me. I think I could show this one. This is absolutely adorable.
It is.
It's so amazing. Look at this. Dear Mr. Tim, I watch your videos with my grandparents. My name is Zoe, and I'm 11. I've been stacking precious metals, silver, since March of 2024. I buy silver every year with my birthday and Christmas money. Get well soon, and please give the Jesus heart to Bubbles. That nickname still lives, man. The stamp is for you. Love, Zoe. How precious is that, Tim?
That is terrific. From Susanna, I got some C's candies, and I was saving them for you, but you didn't show up that week, so I had to eat them all.
Well, thank you, Susanna, I think, for the chocolate.
They're absolutely terrific.
Oh, that's good.
Really, really good candy. One of the funniest ones got misplaced, and
Oh, that was a good one.
yeah, I'll have to find that. We'll put it up there when I find it.
So you've been shipping to all over the place, haven't you?
Yes, I have something going out to Alabama today.
Oh, wow.
I'm using the regular priority mail box
Yeah.
instead of the medium box. The medium box is $22.95.
Mm-hmm.
For anything that's, Pennsylvania, New York, of course, the New England states, we can ship for less money if it's, one tube of Eagles or something. There are a lot of things when I consider the weight and the fact that the priority mail boxes, which are supposed to hold 70 pounds, are chancy if they're over 10 pounds. So we'll be doing a lot of that, shipping directly from the wholesaler. And even on some small orders, the only problem we're having is the relying on the precious metals prices.
People do care a lot about you, Tim.
Well, I care about my customers as well, and it's. I just hope everybody's going to get a square deal from the hedge funds.
Well, they get a square deal from you.
They do.
That's what matters. So, Tim, how often do you get requests for copper? Do people call up and say, do you have any copper rounds? Because I know people stack this stuff.
Not many.
Not many.
Not many.
Hold this.
That's a Yankee copper.
Yeah, it's a Yankee copper bar that I was gifted by someone in our community. Very nice of them to do that. How many pounds?
4.3.
4.3. It's about $20 melt. How much would that be in silver? That's a Yankee design right there.
Is my calculator over there?
Yeah, it is. Hold on. I'll get it.
It's a nice design. I like that.
The fife and drum.
That's really good. It's very well done.
Yeah.
But copper is like silver. It's pretty easy to form.
Right.
I
It's a
would say-
base metal, not a precious metal.
It is.
Yeah.
It has had its moments.
The military uses a lot of copper. So I think it is definitely something that the United States needs to make sure we have.
Those missiles aren't made out of PVC?
No, they're not made out of PVC. So yeah, 4.3 pounds.
That is 62.71 troy ounces. $4,453.69.
Versus $20. I know, right?
Yeah, I guess you can't call it a precious metal.
No, but it is a very important one.
Now, I want to know why this person didn't donate this to our military.
Okay, let me address this copper thing head on, because I get a lot of emails and comments about copper all the time. I don't advocate stacking much physical copper. I know it's pretty, but you pay a big premium for copper rounds. I know collecting piles of pre-1982 pennies is popular with some of you. I have a massive box from my late father full of copper pennies. But I just don't think copper is worth stacking, because I don't think it will be a barter material of choice in an SHTF scenario. I do think you need to be aware of copper's incredible value, though, especially to our country. Copper is a critical mineral for national defense. President Trump knows that. He took big steps to bring back copper production to U.S. soil. So you may not want to stack physical copper yourself, but our U.S. military needs to stack it. Billionaire Robert Friedland famously said, if somebody's pointing a gun at you, you need that copper to shoot back. Mr. Friedland has made billions discovering more copper than probably anybody else in history. And he knows we need more copper mined in the next 20 years than in the last 5,000 years combined. He's called it a copper crisis. Stanley Druckenmiller, another billionaire, with a track record of never having a losing year, is very bullish on copper. He knows missiles depend on copper. And this growing deficit is one reason UBS raised their copper price target this month. So we'll get back to Tim and talk about the insane silver manipulation going on. But right now, I just want to help you see how this copper problem could be a copper opportunity, specifically with a mining company I like a lot. It's the sponsor of this portion of the video, Giant Mining Corp, ticker symbol BFGFF. They're a company that is actually trading near its all-time record lows right now, down around 60% in the past 45 days. But they're the owner of the Majuba Hill Copper Project and past-producing mine in the state of Nevada. And they're the only copper company I am bullish on right now, partly because of Giant Mining being in one of America's best and most cherished mining jurisdictions, and partly because Giant Mining has rarely, if ever, traded this cheap. The historic underground mines of the Majuba Hill Project produced copper, tin, silver, and gold from the early 1900s to the 1950s, and then it just sat idle for 70 years. Back then, they didn't have the advanced drilling technology that we have today. So modern mining tech brings even more potential to this amazing land package. Another reason why I'm hugely bullish on Giant Mining is because their infrastructure is ready to go at Majuba Hill. We're talking access roads, power, transportation, water supply, ore stockpiles, all of it. This isn't stacking copper bars like the one I put in Tim's hand. No, this is a leveraged junior mining stock that is speculating on both the copper price and the success of Giant Mining going forward. So you should only consider getting a position if it fits your investment objectives. Don't just buy Giant Mining because I like them. You got to do your own due diligence, okay? That includes checking out the links in the description below. Giant Mining's ticker symbol is right on the screen there. It's BFGFF on the over-the-counter market here in the United States. And they're available to trade via various brokers. So research Giant Mining Corp, please. Now, let's get back to Tim to discuss the insanity in the silver ETF markets.
It is amazing how good the coins look that are made out of copper.
Yeah, they are fun.
I had one of these in silver.
You do?
Yeah, I
Oh yeah,
sold it yesterday.
Yeah. The Second Amendment. I love that one.
That's a good
really
one.
Cool.
What you sent me this morning is that's downright unbelievable. You know, was it $1.3 billion?
Jane Street quietly built a position worth about $1.3 billion by buying SLV. That's like a 500-fold increase.
Well, there's a lot of silver in those SLV purchases.
No, there's.
No, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
There's none.
Well, JPMorgan's supposed to back every one of those shares of SLV by physical silver.
Yeah, I bet that doesn't happen.
No. So, James.
There's so much misunderstanding about the paper market. Let me let that ring.
Yeah.
It just
Go ahead.
people do buy SLV GLD, thinking there is some gold behind there.
They do, yeah.
There is none.
Yeah, so that 500-fold increase placed Jane Street above BlackRock for the largest ETF holder of SLV. BlackRock.
Is there any manipulation involved?
They have been under investigation for a lot of shady, manipulative trading. Shocking, right?
Really?
Yeah.
That is shocking.
Mostly in the crypto space, but also the India's Securities and Exchange Board, the SEBI, is alleging that Jane Street manipulated their Bank Nifty index. They're willing to go after these guys, India. But our own CFTC, you did a great call to arms few videos ago. You asked people to reach out to them. I think some people did actually contact them, complain about what's going on.
I understand they've had lots of complaints. But, and I told people, if there's any shenanigans in any of these futures markets or cryptos, it's going to be exposed. Because what they've done to the metals market is just outrageous. And the fact that this would probably make a lot of people pile on silver. And we did see, I don't know when that was released.
Last quarter of 2025. That's when they made their move. And that's when silver took off. At the height, it was what, 121 an ounce intraday?
Oh, I remember we went and had dinner.
Remember? Yes.
And then you did a little research to see what the Chinese pay for it.
Yes, I did. And then it cut by what? Close to 50%. Can you imagine? I'm thinking about Zoe buying silver. And I'm thinking if she bought this when it was at 121 and it went down to almost half that, she's a victim of this kind of manipulation.
I hope she doesn't become a victim of these outrageously funded. See, what are they? They have 3,000 employees and 5 global offices. They trade a broad range of asset classes on more than 200 venues in 45 countries. I don't know what the reason to buy so much in a single ETF would be, unless you're trying to affect the market.
Or short it.
Or short it.
Trying to make silver go way up and then slam it down and make a lot of money in the process.
Well, they both, cryptocurrencies and silver and gold on paper, have the same value. In spite of what the prices are, they're all thin air. Okay? And how many years ago was it I said, when you asked me what the problem with our economy is, and I said there's way too much money invested in thin air.
That hasn't changed.
That hasn't changed.
The CFTC and other regulatory bodies need to stop that.
They need to do some regulation.
Now, I think my unit cost, of all the silver that I own is around $30 an ounce. Do you think that's about right for a price for silver?
I do.
Really?
We were talking about this. Inflation happens every day, every year. It doesn't matter who's in the White House. It can be controlled, and I think right now it is being controlled. And the run-up in petroleum is temporary. It may not even be real because there's no shortage of petroleum. It's just that a lot of it is sitting in this certain location next to Iran. But I think that gold belongs below 4,000. When we were talking about it months ago, we kind of agreed it should be the 200-day moving average, which has moved up a lot since then. So I would say go back to that point, which was around 3,000, and continue from that point.
Continue up. You do believe that the price in dollars of gold and silver should increase over time, a long-term inflation hedge,
but,
right?
But, it shouldn't be outside the 200-day moving average.
Okay.
And what has affected that has been
companies like Jane Street.
Companies like Jane Street, yes. But I think silver, if we follow the same point of view from gold being around 4,000, silver should be around in the 40s.
In the 40s. So you're thinking maybe $800 to $900 for a tube of Silver Eagles would be reasonable?
Yes.
Is that where it should be priced?
I would say probably closer to 900, but yes.
So I got one tube of Silver Eagles left to buy for a second monster box. Should I wait to buy that last tube, hoping it comes down enough for me to buy it at a discount? Or
I would say if you're in your 80s, I wouldn't wait. But
I'm turning 60 in April,
you're not
right?
quite there yet, so you have some time to think about it.
Right.
And this last move up yesterday silver took a huge jump, 73 something.
Yeah.
And I believe it is correcting already. Let me just take a quick look.
Wednesday. What's the date today? Wednesday.
It was 71.09. That's down from 73.50 or something like that.
Okay.
And now it's 71.07. So it's still going down by pennies.
A lot of people argue that the price really needs to be a lot higher. $200 an ounce to reach its all-time inflation-adjusted high.
What was it again that the Chinese are paying to dig it out of the ground?
Okay. You come back to that a lot, Tim. I don't think that's the only factor in the price of physical silver, right? Okay. It's also the demand.
The total cost from the ground to the vault is how much?
17.
17. From ground to vault. And do you remember what gold was? The low one was 796, and the average is probably in that 1,400 range.
That really triggers a lot of stackers.
Well,
and haven't they called you and argued with you over that?
Not really, because they talk about refining costs, blah, blah. No, that is the cost from ground to vault. And they don't care what, it's probably just bars, but they don't care. It's not pretty coins. It's not something that has to be minted. It's, you pour it in a mold, okay? When it's cool and you can pick it up in your hand, you put it in a big suitcase that they drive it down to a vault someplace. I mean, it's obviously not that simple.
No.
But it's substantially less than $2,000 an ounce, and we're even just paying, I have an order coming in, I paid over $5,000 an ounce. And there's nothing I can do about it. I'll probably lose money on everything, but people need us.
So
somebody's coming in there. Hopefully they can read.
Hopefully they can read. People still call. They still pull up. This is important, but people realize that you're closed on Wednesdays, everyone.
Well,
and has that been a good thing for you?
Yes, it has been very good. And maybe in a couple of weeks I'll go to Monday through Thursday. No, I'm just joking.
No.
We're actually getting a lot done.
Good.
And that's key. And I'm going to be diverting a lot more directly to the wholesaler.
Good.
the problem I'm having is the packaging. The packaging is a real bear. You know, I send a lot of small things out in the small priority mailbox, but the next size up is a lot of space.
Yep.
I stuff them
It's
with
the shipping.
newspapers, and I'm running out of stuff.
Well, that was the reason I pushed for close to 2 years for you to do this, so that you had a shipping day. Right?
Yes, yeah.
And you actually listened to me.
Well, I'm getting
Was
a
that a
lot.
mistake?
I'm getting a lot of shipping done today, except for the fact that you were rearranging everything.
No,
And you want the accolades to show me what you've got to show accomplished.
So bottom line it here for me, Tim. What would you say to Zoe, who is buying silver?
Well, as I said, you have plenty of time. She has even more time, so she can invest wisely. There's nothing wrong with putting the money away until the price is where she wants it to be, and but you have to pay attention. And I used to do this. Oh gosh, I think when I was in college, my father bought a lot of silver, and he bought it all in the dimes, quarters, and halves range, and it worked out very well for him. So I started to follow it at that time. And, you know, of course, I didn't have any money when I was in college, but when I got out and got a job, I started buying junk silver, constitutional silver. And that's worked out very well, because when I came in here, I didn't have a whole lot of inventory to sell. So what I had accumulated became inventory. But, you know, Zoe's got a long life ahead of her. She's obviously very bright, and you know, she's one of those students who I would guess loves to learn, and that's most people. No matter what your age is, you've got to pay attention to these markets.
Do you think you'll live to see this type of garbage stopped?
Yeah, I do. It's going to be more interesting from here. I think the metals are going to go back to the same track they were on, but there's still a lot of interference. in the metals.
Manipulation.
Yeah.
All right. Do I have to get back to sorting these eagles?
You do, yes. I can't take your ankle bracelet off until you finish the job.